Hey, what's up, guys? So up until now, we've been dealing with subtractive synthesis and FM synthesis. That's, using filters to filter out a sound, adding shapes together, modulating shapes, and doing all that fun stuff. But there's another form of plugins within Ableton, and that deals with physical modeling. So I can't really explain the intricacies of a mallet hitting a bell or hitting a string, but what I can do is I can just generally give you an overview of what each of these plugins do. And I'll show you some neat processing techniques. So we have electric here. Now this emulates the pianos of the 70s, the electric pianos, and it kind of sounds like this. Right? I don't know the topology of a lot of these instruments, but they physically model just what happens under the hood. So I'm gonna do some interesting kind of processing here. I want a Leslie-like emulation, so I'm going to have somewhat of a Doppler effect here. Right? So it kind of goes left and right. You got that smooth kind of, back and forth action going on. And we'll give it a bit of reverb. So for electric, the one area that I do tweak a little bit is this, the pickup. So this is like the sound detection unit. We have the symmetry between the mic and the string, or what have you, and the distance of it. So we can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So we can get more of a hollow sound, more of a brighter sound, right? So this is where the action is. We can also do something really fun. We can overdrive the input, so it's more like an older Hammond. Right? And that's me pretending I can do that. All right. So we have another one here, and it is tension. So this emulates stringed instruments. Again, very esoteric. But what we can do is I can add there's plenty of presets. So I'll just find one and I'll do something neat with it. All right, we got like a muted pluck. All right, so let's add some more physical modeling processing effects, which would be our amplifier and our cabinet. C cabinet. There it is. All right, we'll go mono. We'll give it a big stack and a dynamic mic. So what I'll do is I could actually change the scale to blues. Right, and this emulates strings. So we can have, I believe, plectrum is like a pick. We can have a bow type effect, so kind of like a violin, and a hammer. So this would be kind of like a piano. Right, and it's subtle nuances of a hammer hitting the string, and it's modeled using complex math that I don't know how to do. All right, here's one that is really interesting. It's collision. So this is a mallet hitting metal, like marimbas or whatever, like metal percussion-y instruments. So this uses physically modeled impacts with two resonators, and you can get some really interesting sounds with this. And yeah, let's go one octave up. There we go. Yeah. Right, you can add a resonator. So it's kind of like corpus. So let's find something. All right, we have this. Right, so it's like a bell-like tone. So what we can do is add a ring modulator or frequency shifter. Alphabet, there we go. Another technique I like is to use a simple delay and have a very fast time free running. Perfect. And a long delay time for the reverb. And you can get some really kind of outworldly sounds. Of course, we need to bring that up. We can do that with a compressor high ratio. Right? And then you have like film soundtrack effects. The bread and butter in this synth is the psychoacoustic effects. You can switch the direction of the mics left and right, so you get, you know, more of an interesting sound. And yeah, so a lot of these, yeah, yeah, I would have to like go to school for this. But yeah, this physical modeling is pretty interesting. If you're not into this, I suggest if you want like immediately usable effects, there's plenty of presets in Ableton, of course, but there's Omnisphere by Spectrasonics. They have a lot of like really interesting usable sounds. It's a Rompler, and it's you should check it out if you want these kind of sounds. But you can, you know, make your own in here and affect things in a fun way. All right, well, I hope I explained physical modeling. Well, it was more of an introduction to physical modeling in Ableton. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to pretend to be. But yeah, hopefully you can take that and do fun things. All right, we'll be back.